it. If you like roller coasters and theme parks, browsing Coaster Enthusiast blogs, subreddits, and YouTube channels just like this one can be an enjoyable way to increase your appreciation as well as your understanding of the hobby. If you're just starting out though, there's a lot of jargon and abbreviations people will throw around constantly to the point it can be a bit hard to understand just what they're saying.
What the hell is even that?
In this video, I'll explain a few of the most commonly used lingo and abbreviations so you won't have to head to Google as much while watching videos like this, like I had to do when starting out. Here we go. Airtime. One of the most common terms you'll hear being thrown around is airtime. Airtime refers to moments on a ride where you rise out of your seat briefly. For example, as a coaster crests a hill at speed and starts to head back down the other side again. There are two general types of airtime: floater airtime and ejector airtime. Floater airtime refers to those times where you gently rise out of your seat and it gives you the sensation that you're floating, hence the name. B&M hypercoasters like Intimidator at Carowinds and Diamondback at Kings Island are known for their floater airtime. Ejector airtime is the less gentle variety and refers to moments where the coaster pops you up out of your seat and into the restraints. Wooden coasters like El Toro at Six Flags Great Adventure are known for their ejector airtime. Element. In the context of roller coasters, elements refer to the different feature segments of track on a roller coaster. Some examples include corkscrews, airtime hills, turnarounds, and vertical loops. Element can also be used to refer to some of the working parts of a coaster, but just know that most of the time when you hear a coaster enthusiast talking about elements, they're generally talking about the sections of track the train will go through. ERT. ERT stands for Exclusive Ride Time. ERT is often offered as a benefit to certain tiers of park season passes. The Gold Pass at Kings Island allows you to enter the park a little earlier than regular admission to ride some of the rides before the park opens, for example. ERT on select rides is also often a selling point for enthusiast events held throughout the season at different parks, such as Hollywood Nights at Holiday World in Santa Claus, Indiana, or Coaster Stock at Kings Island in Mason, Ohio. Some parks also offer exclusive ride time to guests staying at on-site park resorts, such as the many Disney resorts or the Hotel Breakers at Cedar Point. Hypercoaster. A hypercoaster is a complete circuit roller coaster that has a height measuring 200 feet or greater. Magnum XL 200 was the first hypercoaster. Other examples include Mako at SeaWorld Orlando, Nitro at Six Flags Great Adventure, and Apollo's Chariot at Busch Gardens Williamsburg. Hypercoasters are often known for their floater airtime. Giga Coaster. If you spent any time on sites or forums dedicated to Kings Island lately, you've probably heard this one pretty often this season. A Giga Coaster refers to a coaster with a height or drop height of at least 300 feet. Some people will say it's a completely made-up marketing term that doesn't really mean anything. And while it is true that Giga Coaster was a term coined by coaster manufacturer Intamin and Cedar Point as a way to market Millennium Force, which opened in 2000 as the first coaster of this type, I still don't think that's especially true anymore, as this term is used frequently to describe coasters of this height, as well as coasters also having other certain characteristics. Giga coasters generally don't have any inversions, for example. There are currently 6 Giga coasters open as of the 2019 season. The already mentioned Millennium Force at Cedar Point, Steel Dragon 2000, located at Nagashima Spa Land in Japan, Intimidator 305 at King's Dominion, Leviathan at Canada's Wonderland, Fury 325 at Carowinds, and finally Red Force at Port Aventura World in Spain. And if enthusiasts have interpreted blueprints obtained from Mason City Hall correctly, a 7th will open at Kings Island in 2020. Staple or stapling. Stapling refers to when a ride operator pushes a lap bar down so far or cinches a seatbelt so tight that it becomes uncomfortable for the rider. In addition to this obviously not feeling very good, enthusiasts complain about stapling because it reduces the amount of airtime you can get. What I've noticed is that you're more likely to get stapled towards the beginning of a season, when the ride operators are new or out of practice and afraid they're going to make a mistake and accidentally kill somebody or something. I've also heard some ride operators say this could happen to you if you're rude to them, so don't be a jerk. Out and back layout. Just like it sounds, an out and back layout is one where a coaster goes out a ways, turns around, and heads back towards the station. A good example of an out and back layout would be the Racer at Kings Island. twister layout, the opposite of an out and back layout. In a twister layout, the track will twist and turn and interact with itself and can therefore be a little bit more compact. Raging Bull at Six Flags Great America is a good example of a coaster with a twister layout. Floorless coaster, a type of coaster manufactured by Bolliger and Mabillard where there is no floor underneath the rider's feet. Rougarou at Cedar Point and Kraken at SeaWorld Orlando are both floorless coasters. Over the past several years, B&M has gone around converting old stand-up coasters into floorless coasters, as is the case with Rougarou. OTSR. If you see someone type out this abbreviation, it stands for Over the Shoulder Restraint. There you go, saved you from Googling that one. POV. In the enthusiast community, POV refers to a video of a coaster that takes place from the rider's perspective. Most enthusiast forums, subreddits, and YouTube pages will frown upon unofficial POVs taken with cell phones, as parks don't allow for people to take footage of rides while riding. Keep your phones in your pocket, or better yet, don't even bring them on the ride with you if you can help it. SBNO. SBNO stands for Standing But Not Operating. Sometimes coasters aren't in operation for whatever reason, but the parks leave them standing for a time. Sometimes these rides get brought back, but oftentimes this means a coaster will be coming down at some point in the near future if it's been standing but not operating for a significant period of time. Valleying. Valleying refers to when a coaster loses momentum and can no longer complete the circuit, becoming caught between two high points in the layout. This happened to Invertigo at Kings Island at least once this season, and also to Gatekeeper at Cedar Point earlier on. I believe due to high winds slowing the coaster down in that case. Rollback. Rollback generally refers to when a launched coaster fails to generate enough force from its launch to make it further into its layout. With this being a possibility, launch coasters like Flight of Fear at Kings Island and Kings Dominion, Top Thrill Dragster at Cedar Point, and King to Ka at Six Flags Great Adventure are designed so that the train can safely roll on back and try again. For many enthusiasts, getting a rollback on Top Thrill Dragster, for example, would be a pretty exciting event because A, they don't happen all that often, and B, they allow you to experience the launch twice, plus get to roll back backwards on the ride. Trim brakes. Trim brakes are sections of brakes put throughout a coaster's layout used to adjust the train's speed. Sensors will check the coaster's speed as the train moves past them, and then the trim brakes will engage to bring that speed back down towards the level specified in the computer-controlled system if the train is traveling faster than anticipated. Though many enthusiasts don't like trim brakes, they are essential to help protect the longevity of a coaster as well as to keep it safe to ride. Alright folks, so that's just a few terms you might hear people throwing around. This is nowhere near a complete list, just something to get you started. What do you think? Any important ones I missed? Should I do another video like this? Let me know in the comments down below what terms you'd like to see me cover in another video. And if you enjoyed this one, a like rating is always appreciated. Don't forget to subscribe for more if you haven't already. I'll see you guys on the next one. Thanks for watching.